everyone. Welcome to socaldramtram. I'm Matt.
And I'm Cesar.
And hey, if you're new here, we just want to take a minute and say, hey, thanks for showing up. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. Also, don't forget to hit the little bell so you get a notification when we drop a new video. If you're a returning viewer, and to everybody else, don't forget to smash the like button. We appreciate you guys so much. Cesar, what do we got on the bar today?
Today we got yet another North Star bottle from my bar. So guys, North Star VEGA 22-year-old. Of this release, it's a limited edition number 6. It's number 194 of a limited 1,205 bottle run. It is bottled at 43.6% alcohol and is a mixture of Spanish and American oak casks. As you guys know, I love me some North Star. This Vega apparently is the 5th brightest star in the sky, and to those of you astronomers out there, in 11,000 years, it's going to replace Polaris as our brightest North Star. So we ain't going to live that long, but hey.
If you live to tell the tale, let us know by a future time capsule.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if this video lasts that long, then hey, then we're good.
I mean, we could always go full conspiracy and like be like, oh no, we're frozen in ice, like Walt. You know who he is.
Nonetheless, I love everything North Star has to offer. This was the first bottle I actually I got from North Star, and blew me away.
This one for a while.
Yeah, this one blew me away right away, which is why I'm keeping it on reserve and bringing me into actually my coins, because my closer coin, Pokemon, my topper coin is Aquavite, who actually is the one who gave me a sample of this stuff a while back and got me really into the North Star series.
Was it the 22? I remember you sent you a Vega, but was it a 22? I forget what it was.
I believe it was a 22. Or oh no, actually no, it was a 30. The 30-year-old.
I thought it was a little bit
older.
Yeah.
No, it was a 30-year-old, and then that's why I blindly pulled the trigger on the 22. Because actually, I brought it here for us to try.
You did.
Yeah, and I was so blown away, and then I was like, wow, all right, then I'm definitely gonna get this, and I don't regret it, because this is definitely some good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and not to sound like a broken record, but I am using my Aquavite coin as well. I'm using my Evangelist coin from his Patreon. This one I think is celebrating water, if I'm not mistaken.
Water of life.
Pretty sweet coin. He's using that Aquavite coin. We love you, Roy. We appreciate you all the time, man. And yeah, the one thing I was going to say about this bottle right off the bat, just because it is from your bar, I'm not used to bottles coming from Cesar's bar that are quite this full. This one is one I can tell that you don't hit all that often.
No, definitely not.
But I'm not thinking it's because you don't like it. I'm thinking it's because you want to savor it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think it's fair to say that we're fans of North Star at this point. I think the North Star series, which you can check out right up here, we both were kind of mind blown when we threw some water in that one. So I'm very curious to see what happens with this one. I recently picked up my first North Star bottle, so I'm excited to get to that when we do. So look for that in the near future. But anyway, right off the bat, what are you getting on the nose on this one?
So on the nose, I get hazelnuts. Also, I don't know, like, I know it's not a popular snack, but have you ever had that yellow bag of prunes?
Of prunes?
Yeah,
no.
Prunes. It's like you open the bag and then there's like these like kind of
I know
white
what prunes taste like,
yeah.
But I've never had that one.
Yeah, well, that's just what I remember getting, and that to me is what it smells like, the bag of prunes.
So I'm not getting prunes, but I am getting raisins off of this, like heavy raisin note. You said Spanish oak?
Yeah.
Not Oloroso though, like just Spanish.
Yeah, just Spanish
okay,
and American.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm getting a heavy raisin note out of this for sure. A little bit of toffee. That's why I was asking if it was Oloroso, because that's typically sherry notes. So I'm like, is there some sherry in this? Chances are there might be. Who knows? Because it is still technically a blend, right? Or
Yeah, no, it's a blend.
Yeah, so it's a blend, so it could have some in there. Who knows? But yeah, raisins and toffee. That's what I'm getting off this nose. Interestingly enough, because you mentioned a plastic bag, it does smell a little, not plasticky, but a little like there's an industrial funk in there. Not like for worse, like there's just an interesting note underneath those other flavors that I mentioned that's not quite something natural. It's more like something that's like industrious, like a manufactured note, so to speak. But yeah, that raisin and toffee note is just lovely. You said 43%?
Yeah, for 43.6? 43.9. Off the palate, I'm getting some apricots and dark chocolate. A little bit apricots, a little bit very oily. It's more of an oily scent.
It's got a very oily mouthfeel for sure. Like it just kind of coats your palate. It's kind of like if you've ever done an oil change on your car, like whenever you get that, excess oil on your hand, it's like it just has that same feel. Like that viscosity is running through your mouth. And I mean, it's got some nice legs, but nothing like, it looks like a 43%, but the mouthfeel is very different. It definitely stays with you for a second. Those same notes that I mentioned of the raisin and the toffee are definitely there. I get a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of caramel, a caramel sweetness, not quite like homemade caramel, but kind of like a caramel chew, like a caramel chew candy. And that might be kind of lending into that industrial aspect that I was kind of talking about earlier. But man, this is nice. I'm also getting a little bit of fig in there now on the finish, which is really nice. And because it's super malty too, it's like a Fig Newton again, for me anyway. But like, it's really good. I'm really enjoying this.
So, what the crazy thing is, right now that like it's this much through the bottle, it blows my mind how much like raisiny, pruny, and fruity it is, because
that was a rhyme and you didn't even mean it.
So like it blows my mind because when I first popped this open, like the neck pour, I poured myself a neck pour sample and it was so sweet, like incredibly sweet, to the point where I gave some to my girlfriend and she's like, oh, that tastes like syrup. I was like, yeah, right? I mean, like that's crazy because I mean, this is Scotch, let alone she doesn't even like bourbon. But I forced her to try some and she actually got sweet notes right off the back, which is what I got off the neck pour. But halfway through, that is it's completely changed. And I'm surprised because it's like, wow, I thought it was gonna get sweeter. Not to say it's bad, it's definitely really good, especially for a blended Scotch, really good. That 22 years in the cask probably did it some work, but it's definitely more raisiny, pruny than it is sweet.
It tastes like it has some age to it, right? Like it doesn't taste quite that old for some reason, whatever that accounts for, I don't know. But I'll tell you what's interesting is that this does not taste like 43%. It tastes a little bit hotter than that. Like if I had to guess, like if you gave this to me blind and didn't tell me the ABV, I'd probably say this was somewhere between 48 and 52. Just because it tastes a little bit hotter. Not in a bad way, it just feels like it has a little bit more of a kick to it. And I think it's just making it a little bit more interesting out of this whiskey. I'm actually really enjoying it. So the finish, again, just kind of commenting on it, that malty crust bready note is definitely still present. That's kind of the ending note that I'm getting with those figs that I had mentioned. So like, again, that fig note is just popping off for me and I really do enjoy it. It's just really fresh, really clean. It's just a really interesting glass. So I was just kind of like trying to see how long the finish would go.
You know what this is reminding me of as far as the finish goes? So it reminds me of like, so if you were to get like a chocolate and then with the cherry in it, you know how there's that cherry, a piece of the cherry and then the syrup in it, right? Mm-hmm. To me, it tastes like, the finish at least, a waxy version of a dark chocolate filled with cherry, but you take out the actual cherry and it's only the dark chocolate and the syrup. And I feel like that's the waxy finish I get with this.
Interesting. I mean, I can get behind the waxy feel with the cherry a little bit. I can't get to the chocolate yet. It's going to be very interesting with the water. So I put 3 drops of water in on this guy. The alcohol does get a little bit tamed, but it's still present. Like the 43% is still coming to play, but it's not anything that is like jumping out of the glass anymore with the water. I kind of lost the raisin note, but the malty note came up for sure. Still not getting any chocolate in it. How many drops did you drop in?
3. 3, and what I realized with this too, folks, I remember I did a Cesar pour, the 4-finger pour. I took a sip, you know, it was really good, and then we watched the rest of our show, and then I went back to it probably like 10 minutes later, and it just blew up with more flavor. So I mean, I'm curious to see what this does the more we sit with it.
So with the water, it gets a little bit hotter on the palate for sure, which is always odd to me on these low ABVs that are independent bottlings. But what I will say is I get your chocolate now. But instead of getting raisins and figs, now I'm getting orange, like a chocolate covered orange, so to speak, like that old candy you can get around Christmas time, where it's definitely orange, or it's like an orange piece of candy wrapped in chocolate. And that's what I'm getting off of this.
Hey, the water is not bad.
The water's not bad. I'll say I liked the Sirius more with the water.
Oh, yeah.
This is still good. I wish the two complemented each other a little bit more rather than change up the flavors entirely. Again, for me and my palate and where I'm at. And again, when you approach whiskey, it's so dependent and so subjective on, you know, what you've done for the day, right? What you've eaten, what you've had to drink, things like that. It's gonna change from person to person. But like for me, this is really good. I actually really enjoy this glass. With the finish though, with the water, I kind of lose it. Like I don't really get as long of a finish.
No,
it's kind of just becoming like that feeling you have after you use mouthwash.
What
it's kind of burn.
What I realized with the water is that the initial first punch is actually really good, but then the finish is like it ends quick, and then it ends in a pepper note. So it's like I'd rather take another sip and get that fresh note.
It's almost like you want to just pour a little bit more whiskey in there to balance it out.
Yep.
So for me with this guy, how much you say you'd pay for this, roughly?
Without the shipping tax,
tariff, exchange rates, BS fees that we gotta pay.
I think it was like a 110 or $100.
Okay, so let's say it was, for all intents and purposes, let's say it's 125.
It was $90, 90 something.
Okay, so after exchange, let's say it's 125. 22 years old. That's got some years. That's got some mileage to it, so I'm okay with that. 43%. I wish it was a little bit higher so it would stand the water a little bit more. I'm gonna give it a 3. This is probably borderline for me between a 3 and a 3.5. Maybe we start doing halves in the near future because the last couple episodes we've been flirting with it. But that's not to say that it's bad. Let me break it down. So it's a 3 because, again, it does give you the 43%. I do love the flavors, neat for sure. It is 22 years old, and it's not that salty of a price. Obviously, for us, it's a little bit saltier because we have to order it and go through shipping, exchange, and all that stuff. But I think if you could get your hands on a bottle, you wouldn't be disappointed if you're into these flavors, for sure. Like, if you're not so much into those kind of flavors or deep fruits, maybe step away from this bottle. But nonetheless, if you can try before you buy, definitely do it. I definitely would recommend it. So it's a 3 for me. Where are you going?
For me, Vega, for a blend, it definitely packed a lot of flavor. To be honest, I think if it was a car, it would probably win the Talladega. And I once
save me, Tom Cruise.
And I once had a manager named Noriega. So with that being said, I'm gonna give it a 4. As far as blended scotches go, this is far above par, and you don't have to search too hard. But it's right there on the boulevard. Flesh, subtle, great blended scotch, great flavors all the way through. If you do get it, I recommend pour it, wait a couple minutes, and then start drinking it. Just like to be honest, that Dalmar 18 tastes way better 10 minutes into letting it sit. Like literally like a whole 180 like turn.
And that happens with
a lot happens
like
a lot.
Like the Wild Turkey bottled and bond, right?
Oh,
like you let that sit for 5 minutes and you're like, this is so much more
That's good to begin with, and then
Yeah.
it just gets like 150% better.
Absolutely.
But same with this. So it's decent to begin with, but let it sit. Go play a video game round or two, come back, and then bam, let those flavors sit and settle, and then it's gonna be really good.
Yeah,
so for me,
I think
it's a
this
4.
one is one that would benefit from, you know,
time.
You pour 2 fingers and I know I just stowed 3, but you pour 2 fingers and you let this thing go for about an hour. I think this is something that you could enjoy over a longer period of time, over a cigar, or a video game, a couple chapters in your favorite book, whatever the case may be. Like, this is not a, you know, warm-up dram. This is something towards the end of the night, and you definitely want to engage with it a little bit more for sure. Well, it's a 4 from Cesar. It's a 3 from me. You guys know what to do. Hit the comment section. Have you guys had a North Star Spirits? I know there's at least one gentleman out there that has, because he won our giveaway. That's right. But hey, if you guys have had a North Star Spirits, let us know what you had. We want to know what it's like. But also don't forget to follow us at socaldramtram on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We love interacting with you guys there. We forgot something, but that's all right. We're going to go ahead and keep rolling on this one. You got anything else you want to add today, Cesar?
What about you, Matt?
Stay safe and drink well. All aboard! Catch you next time. Hey, everybody. Hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe.